am Sam, Epic Mom. It's time for a car rant. Alright, so I'm starting the year off kind of heavy with the rant, so sorry about that. But since we are in the beginning of 2026 and we are a quarter away through this century, I just gotta say, I was talking to my husband, and I gotta say that as a teenager, the build up to the year 2000, we had, I think, some of the best years. And I'm not talking just fashion or innovation or anything like that. I honestly think that because technology was becoming more readily available, it was, email was becoming available for everybody. Almost all schools were having computers put in for all kids to use. That was just becoming a thing. Social media was just becoming a thing. Like we had MySpace, right? 2000s that came about. So we didn't have the whole BS that you have with Facebook and TikTok and that crap.
We had AOL Instant Messenger and Yahoo Messenger.
Texting was just becoming a thing. You gotta remember, guys, that in the 90s we still had payphones. And the cell phones for teenagers, which were not cheap, but they weren't like too expensive. Especially if your parents had the plans. They pretty much represented a security blanket, a little bit of freedom. They gave us a sense of, you still had a curfew, you were still expected to do all the things you did before, but you didn't have to rely on there being a working payphone. You still had that little extra in case somebody's car broke down. It gave parents a little bit more of a, okay, my idiot teenager's driving, something happens, at least they can call for help. Or, oh God, my kid is friends with that moron over there, and they're going to be out and about with them. So it gave the parents a little bit of a, I don't know how to... Reassurance, thank you, that's what I'm looking for. So that was kind of cool, because again, you had that little hope. Going up to the 2000s, everybody was very hopeful. We had a lot of aspirations going towards the future. Everything looked like it was very promising. It seemed like once we hit the year 2000, because you had that whole Y2K BS where it was like, thought that the world was going to shut down because the computers were going to get a virus or something. And then you had the 2012 where the Mayan calendar ended, and there were just so many different things. There were so many people who were, oh my God, the end is coming, we're going to have an apocalypse.
Negativity.
The what?
Negativity.
All the negativity, thank you. No offense, but if we're going to have an apocalypse, please just have it happen already. But I honestly think my teenage years, we happen to have it best, because technically my husband and I are considered millennials, but we kind of grew up with the whole Gen X feel, because we grew up in the Midwest, in the rural area where it was not considered the city type, advanced things. We grew up with the drinking from the hose water, be home by when it gets dark out, that type of feral childhood. I grew up where my mom worked, my dad worked, my stepdad worked. My older sister was in charge of us, God help us. Latchkey kids who just came home from school and you were expected to have the house clean or you answered to mom. And again, we had a lot more options, Everybody was still pushing the whole, if you don't go to college, you aren't going to have a great future. But at the same time, we had so many more options than I think you guys do now. I do, like, my husband and I have bought houses. We've been able to afford houses. It's not that affordable now, but
only one at a time.
Yeah. We have had a lot more opportunities, I think, than a lot of generations before us and the generation after us. again, like I said, it seemed like leading up to the year 2000, we had a lot more promise. We had a whole lot of people who thought anything was possible with science going forward. We had so many cool sci-fi movies. We were just watching movies yesterday that were just like, oh my god, do you remember when we watched this as teenagers? Do you remember? I was like, holy crap, movies suck now. And I mean, that's not completely true, because there's some really cool movies that are being put out, but a lot of stuff is so woke that it's like, oh my god. Or you guys are having to remaster stuff, remake things that were good way back when, but you're remaking it with a woke agenda, and it's like, oh guys, please stop ruining my childhood. And I just feel bad because, you guys, we had such an awesome life back then, and we didn't realize it. And I just feel bad for my kids, because it's like, wow, you all are idiots. I mean, for us as teenagers, gay marriages became legalized throughout the U.S. Interracial relationships were not as big of a deal. Coming out as being gay wasn't as big of a deal. I mean, it was just common knowledge. And we lived in the boonies where, you know, there was cowboys and such. I don't really know what to say to a lot of people, because, again, we lived in the country where you'd think that we would be like the last people to get with the trends, and yet it seems as if we were the ones who had it the best, because we didn't have to deal with the city BS. And now we see social media where everybody's trying to be PC to everybody else, and ends up, if you don't agree with somebody, you're getting canceled. There's so much cancel culture. And it's just kind of sad, because, I mean, again, I want anybody out there who had an awesome childhood and teenage years like me and my husband to shout out and mention it, because, again, guys, there are so many cool things that have happened that I don't think a lot of us really appreciated until we became parents ourselves. And it's just really sad what we're at right now. So, just out there, if you guys have any great stories to share or things that you were looking forward to as teenagers, please let me know in the comments, because I'm always interested to hear. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. Please check out our other videos already on YouTube, and give us a like and subscribe. And if you hit that bell for notifications, you'll know when we put something new out. So try to make every day matter by finding the fun. You guys have a great one. Bye.